Yay! Here I am. This is probably the last office hour of the year. So it goes. And the reason it being is actually I just decided, well, not just. There's a thing about the end of the year. Usually it's a lot of craziness and there's also a lot of joyful things from Thanksgiving, holiday season, celebrations, etc., etc. And we are noticing a lot of these bittersweet moments of, oh my God, this is like, I'm so excited about this season. I love this season. I'm already starting it way ahead. The moment Halloween is done, I can't wait to put up my tree or whatever decorations that you do for Thanksgiving and even for Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating around this time of year. And for the past few years, I would say this would be my third year, maybe even my fourth, is that I'm not really spending a lot of time on social media posting. I might spend time on there myself. I do not post. And I just decided this morning that this is something that I want to pursue this year again. At first, I wasn't quite sure. And I'm sharing this because there is this piece of feeling missing something out, right? That beautiful term of fear of missing out, FOMO, that's been circling around in the, maybe not recently, maybe it has, but definitely since social media has become a phenomenon. And when we are thinking about the fear of missing out, what is it really, right? It is something that we think is happening that we're not having anymore. And I'm beginning our office hour around grief and grace right there. Because grief is not only connected to when we lose a person in our lives, someone that we loved dearly, someone that was a significant person in our lives that was there on a daily basis. And especially during these holiday seasons, we're being reminded of those moments. Maybe not in the prep time, but definitely once we're sitting at a table with our families and there is this one chair that is now either replaced by someone or we keep it even free for that person. And that person is no longer with us. And that's when it probably hits us the most, is when we see everybody there and we wish that person was there. And that's kind of like a fear of missing out, right? We're worried that what if that piece that is no longer there, I'm going to miss it. It's maybe a little bit extended. I'm not like, obviously it's not the same connection in that sense. And so that we don't get into that fear of missing. Not necessarily missing out, but just missing the person, missing the experience, missing something that is happening, something beautiful that is happening in our lives that we would love to share with others, that just no longer can do it here physically with us. And I want to touch on that bittersweet because even if, and I'll relate it back, and again, you might notice I'm going back and forth because it is not only around the loss of a person. It can just be the loss of not having something, the loss of something that didn't turn out how I anticipated, and now there's some preconcept, whatever the word, I just lost it. The consequences that might come or not come, right? And that's why I make it a little broad. So if you're losing me, feel free to message or comment below that, that you would like to have more clarification for your particular situation. Why this topic came up for me wasn't about social media at all. That's just something that came up because this morning I announced that I won't be on sharing anything in December. So I'm going to do like everything. So you can see a lot of me. No, I'm joking. And so this office hour right now is the last one for the year. So that I just realized this now, right? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of topics I would love to talk about and share with you. And yet, I think there's a lot of information out there. And what is it going to take for us to focus on the things that are here? So even if we are missing people, even though there's going to be this moment where we're sad and wish it was different, experience it. Don't push it away. Don't attend to something, get yourself busy or whatever not. Be there. Be with it. And notice what it is. Allow it to be there and just give it that time and place that it requires. And not too much that you can't function anymore. Like there is this real tough balance between the two where I can be in my sorrow, I can be in my sadness, I can be in this experience of, if only. And then I can look at the other side. So we went to see Moana last night. And one of the number one takeaways that we can integrate here is there's always another way. There's always going to be another way. And so instead of sitting in that sorrow of that missing out, or rather that missing piece and not having it, like be it there for a bit and then extend the idea to, okay, there has to be another way to cope with this. There is another way to look at this. There's another way. There is another way. And so in between that other way and that grief is grace. So with grace, that's just this piece of acknowledgement, cherishing and holding ourselves dearly, as well as everyone that we're thinking about. If there's this person that we've lost, or maybe there's someone else who's going through something like a loss that we want to be there for. And not there for because we're going to have a solution to it, but just be there to listen and to experience their sorrow. And also share another way of seeing something else. For example, or taking a walk outside in nature, be it having coffee or tea and warm yourself up. Watch something, a show that is heartwarming, especially in this holiday season. And yes, it might remind you of that person. Listening to songs, yes, it might remind you of that person. And isn't that such a beautiful thing that we can feel that sorrow and sadness not having someone in our lives? Just saying this makes me very emotional. Just having the capacity of remembering that we're missing someone. How on earth would we want to push this away? This is something we as humans can do so well. And why not embrace it? Why not embrace that we have the capacity to love someone and miss them? And even if they're no longer here. But that doesn't mean life is ending, right? That's why we have this holiday season to remember, even if they're no longer with us, even when they're no longer with us, that there can be joy, that we can remember them joyfully. So that's where this grace comes in, to hold ourselves and remember that we're human. We are human with human emotions, with experiences that define us, that make us who we are. And I would never change anything about how things turn out. And sometimes it's not what we think it's supposed to be. But what if what it will be and what it is much better than we could have imagined, even if the person or people are no longer with us? So that's just the message I want to send you today is to hold these people and those moments, those experiences that we no longer have, that we might now never have, that maybe are changing. Hold them in our hearts, feel them, experience them for those moments that we can and want to. And then also see that there's another way to see and live and be and integrate those loved ones into our lives. So for this holiday season, for this final office hour of the year, and I'm sure I'll be back because I really enjoyed sharing these with you. I hope you enjoyed these. If you did, please let me know, especially in this particular one, as this is also a gratitude kind of office hour, because that's Thanksgiving is tomorrow. And I actually never grew up. I didn't grow up in the States. So I didn't grow up with Thanksgiving until I met my spouse 21 years ago. And we would celebrate it. And it was something new and yet so necessary. So instead of just making it like a chore on our to-do list to get all the things done, take that moment to yourself before the party, before the people, before you leave the house and grab all the things. Just take a deep breath and give yourself some gratitude, some grace, and whatever grief and anything you need to let go of, let it go. It only will make you a more open, more gracious, more expanded and loving person. So with that, happy Thanksgiving to those who are celebrating, those who aren't. Still, there is never a better time to say gratitude than now. So whenever you watch this, be it around Thanksgiving or any time in the year, gratitude to yourselves. Thank you for your great work that you do, for the person that you are. Embrace it. Love yourself unconditionally. And with that, happy holidays. Have a great year, and till next year. So if you have any thoughts, any specific topics, any questions that you would like me to take on, please let me know. So with that said, again, have a good one. And hey, Lexi, I was just about to close out. I have not seen you in a long time. Oh my God, how are you? How is life? I hope you're doing well. We just finished up around grief and grace and how to hold the loved ones that we've might lost or that are no longer in our lives, even if they're still alive, to hold them dearly no matter what. And so with that, I really wish you are a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you to you too. And may you give grace and gratitude to yourself as well. So thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. And let me know any thoughts, any questions. And happy 2024. I'll see you in 2025.